Welcome to Oblivion.
If we're being completely honest, we don't think our champions have overloaded kits overall.
Give it to me! Yes! No!
What happened? I think my Gragas made a play so bad I had a seizure.
For 4 honors. Who's ready for 4 honors? Who's ready for 4 honors? Okay, I really want to know what I said. Can we have all the top? Nice! Positive! We should dive! Positive! Can win! Good job, bro! Good job, bro! Irelia! Can dragon! Can win! Good job! Can win! Can win! Lull! Spawn kill!
If we're being completely honest, we don't think our champions have overloaded kits overall.
Well, here I am. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I was really prolonging this video. Not because my friends told me to make it, but because I had to subject myself to getting game footage for it. It's a tough pill for you hardcore League fans to swallow, but League of Legends failed. And it wasn't for one reason, it was actually for many reasons. Many of us believe that with the new season coming to League, we thought that everything was going to change for the better. And some things actually did change for the better. Congratulations to Riot. However, the core formula of League is still there, and that's what's holding this game back from being better. I can now proudly say that I will do everything in my power to keep newcomers away from this game. Actually, scratch that. I will recommend this game to the people that is naive enough to believe that this game could possibly get any better. For your info, I do not want this game to fail. I want it to succeed, actually. I was a little kid back then when I played this game, and it blew my mind at how much fun I had. Okay, so I want this game to succeed. But what I want to know right now is how has Riot not learned the basics of what makes a game so much fun? Join me on why League of Legends fails to do the basics that many games tend to accomplish nowadays. Before I talk about what made League so bad, it's very important to talk about how League survived all these years. The game was created in October 27th, 2009. In that time period, this game to many people's eyes was the only co-op experience that everybody could enjoy with champions that had new abilities. It also competed with Left 4 Dead for a little bit. In that time period, games like Overwatch 2, Rainbow Six Siege, or Apex Legends didn't exist in that time period, so to many people's eyes, this was the co-op experience everybody wanted to get their hands on. And to add the cherry on top of the cake, this game was also free for anybody that had access to a PC. Number 2, this is very simple, the game was very fun in that time period. It was pretty fun to run around as Dr. Mundo, throwing around a cleaver to stop your enemies in tracks. The game did have to go through trial and error back then. I remember there was a lot of champions that didn't give you enough time to react to their next attack. But with a few updates, the game managed to pull through, and it was at this point that everybody loved League of Legends and gave Riot Games their undying support. As years passed on, new games with new graphics would come out and made League look like a joke compared to the new games. So in order to stick with the timeline, League had to revamp everything that they had from the beginning. This is what League looked like now, and this is what League looked like back then. Yeah, everything has been redesigned in order to feel fresh in this era. Sure, many people did leave the game, but then this is where YouTubers came in, such as Tyler1 or The Bouse. They keep promoting the content to new players, and that's how they draw in more people. As for the old timers, they would share their experience of the game through
The memes.
And their biggest hit so far, Arcane. Using half of the champions from League of Legends and their story to create a TV show around it was such a smart idea, and the TV show was a banger. Highly recommend you to watch it right now. With all this laid at your feet, you can now see why League stayed relevant for so many years. However, the cracks were always there. Alright, enough with the history lesson. It's now time to tell you guys the worst bit about League. Prepare to have your brain scrambled. In this video, I'll focus my attention around Summoner's Rift and ARAM, since they're the two game modes that haven't been ripped from this game. It's quick to mention the loadout screen. This is the first thing you'll see before a game really begins. It puts you in a screen where you have to choose your champion, spells, runes, wards, anything like that. It's just a customization screen. It's very simple. Speaking of simple, there's one important item that is missing from this screen. Could you see? Could you see what it is right now? That's right. It's the quit button. Where the hell is it? I do not see it on screen. Alright, well, since there's no quit button, the second best way to exit out of a match is by clicking that X at the top right. Let's click on that real quickly, and... oh! What is this? If you exit the game now, you'll receive a time penalty that will stop either you or your team from entering a match-made game.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
I literally haven't cursed anyone out in chat right now, and I'm about to be banned just because I don't feel like playing with these people. What the hell is this? Why is this a thing? Believe it or not, there's a reason why this is a thing, and I can actually tell you that now, but it'll be more impactful if I tell you it later. A huge issue that infected League for a while was the quick play, how everybody would have to join a match and immediately call their roles in order to play. This was immediately fixed by removing the whole loadout screen and making it so that when you go to quick play, you just choose which role you want to play as and what champion you want to fit for that role. It's actually really good they implemented this system. I remember back then, people were threatening to kill each other just because somebody called their role they wanted to play. However, you fix one issue, you create another. You see, the loadout screen is important for a number of reasons. If anybody has a team that's going full tank or full AD, then they'll be suffering in other categories, like how much ability power would we have? Do we have any supports to heal each other over time? You see, so if everybody would just go in one category, it makes you think that maybe you want to bring a different person so that you can weigh out the odds on your team. Now, with the loadout screen gone, you basically can't tell your teammates to grab this champion or not. You're basically just gonna have to put faith that they brought the right champion for your correct character. And to add more of an insult, this game has the goal to force you not to play the game just because you're not playing their priority role. Let me explain. Top lane is usually the lane where all the tanks or fighters go. Mid lane is usually where you can play as any champions you want. Bot lane is usually where ADC and support players go. And junglers are basically jungle champions that are fit to gank lanes. In this new champion select, you have to choose 2 lanes you want to play as, so either top or bottom lane. But the problem with this is that you have to play as one of the priority roles like jungle or support. It will usually label whichever role you want to play for the priority. So if I don't want to play that priority role, too bad. You're gonna play it whether you like it or not. So now, there you are, searching for your first role that you put as, but now it doesn't matter because your second role is a priority role, and now the game searches for that, and I can't be able to leave because there's no goddamn quit button. They did a good thing fixing the loading screen in quick play, but in order to fix that, they've created many more terrible things, so I don't think I like this very much. Matter of fact, let this be a word for you guys to remember out the video. Control.
Got it memorized?
Now that I'm done crying about the loadout screen, let's get into the actual gameplay. When the game starts, you have to go to the lane that you signed as. The goal is to protect your tower for as long as you can, until you can be able to push to the enemy side and destroy all their towers. In order to destroy it, the minions have to be under the tower while you do the heavy lifting under it. Your secondary goal is to kill minions to get gold so that you can buy better items in order to kill them and the enemy champions quicker. Same thing can be said for ARAM, except every champion is now confined to one lane. As for the jungler, they're tasked with killing jungle monsters like Rift Heralds, Baron Nashers, and Dragons. Consider these to be buffs for your team in case they ever get in a sticky situation. It's basically the most important role in the game. And finally, the champions. There are so many to choose from, all with different abilities and each having different backgrounds but with similar stories connecting to others. Don't get me wrong, I did have some fun playing this game. It was pretty fun to play as Jhin, killing people from a distance, or Aatrox, who has insane healing, but you have to combo your attacks with every move. And best of all, supporting everybody as Soraka at bot lane. And since this is a new season, the entire map has been revamped, making it harder for junglers to gank your lane. So, why is this game still bad? Or shall I say, having issues? Well, I can summarize it in one clip.
6 months ago, there was a Korean streamer that got stream sniped by 4 of her viewers, but instead of just messing around a bit, they took it to a whole nother level and held her hostage for 3 hours. She couldn't surrender because you needed at least 4 people to have the majority, and she had 2 of the stream snipers on her team. She couldn't end because there was a Senna and Eve on the other team who prevented her from backdooring and ending the game. And on that note, a 3-hour late game Senna kinda made playing the game impossible for her in general. I mean, as you can see from this clip, she was just getting 2-shot by her, and Senna wasn't even on the screen. Additionally, the 2 stream snipers on her team were playing Nasus and Jhin, making sure the minions didn't end on her side. She ended up dying over 120 times, and the worst part about all of this is that she ended up getting a 14-day ban afterwards because the 4 stream snipers reported her for being negative in feeding. Talk about League of Legends at its finest.
Yeah, that's the game in a nutshell. Could you imagine introducing this game to newcomers? Well, guess what? I was one of them, and it failed poorly. I regret having my friends play this game. This game is extremely unforgiving for new players because League players expect everyone to understand the mechanics in one game. It's pathetic. You want to know how I know this? Here, let me give you some good examples right now. So, you started up a game. What role do you want to play as? Oh, well, what roles are there to play as? Well, we have top, mid, ADC, sup, and JG. Okay, what does the last 3 mean? Oh, you're gonna have to look up on the internet what do those acronyms mean. Okay. How about you just use words instead of letters like a normal human being? Nowadays, when people type sup in chat, I can't tell if they're trying to say what's up or they want to play as support. Why does this have to be an acronym? Want another terrible example? What does ADC mean? Well, apparently, if you type it in Google, it says attack, damage, and carry. Okay, how about this? Since everybody in bot lane who plays ADC are ranged champions, why don't we just call it range? Okay, how about that? What does diff or gap means? Well, if you also type it in Google, it is the difference in skill. I'm supposed to be insulted by this? Everybody in this game talk like they're teenage girls texting their boyfriends. I hate that so much because all they do is use letters and expect them to understand what they mean. I don't know what these mean. I'm from a different time. Just use regular words like normal effing people. I need to calm down. I haven't even talked about the actual gameplay, and yet I'm already raging. Oh boy. Anyways, despite the terrible acronyms placed in this game, you're now introduced to defending your lane, where you also have to hope that your friend also needs to defend their lane. It did not work. It did not work at all. They would constantly leave their lane to go help others because they were suffering in their lane. But the problem doing that is that if you leave your enemy laner alone, they then get to take the minions and the tower down, and then they're able to get their items, and now you are a level behind them, so they're now got an advantage on you, and now you can't defend your lane because you left it to go help somebody else's. So, in reality, this is how the situation turns out. You're basically stuck under your tower because every move the enemy laner gives to you deals incredible damage and they're able to heal a lot, but you don't have the same power level as them, so you have to stay under your tower, you have to let the minions come straight to you so you can farm them efficiently, and also make sure that the enemy champion doesn't kill you. Because if you die by the enemy champion, then well, you're feeding them, and if you get fed, then well, you're getting reported, and then you're gonna get banned. Yeah, you can ban people for being bad at the game. Oh, but what's the huge issue? Just play safe under tower. Everything's gonna be alright.
Alright, just play safe top lane. Ah! Never mind.
Hey, I gotta watch myself get outplayed. I mean, I guess I was a little bit overextended here, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, I was a little bit overextended. I should have probably been about right here in the lane. So I mean, especially when I'm this low HP, I just can't be standing right here. It's a mistake on my part. I mean, I got 2 levels on Echo, but it's not really the problem.
Yep, your towers are not there to defend you. Their primary focus is to make sure they don't kill off the minions as quickly as possible to help champions that can farm efficiently. But that's not even it. That's not the worst part. I'll tell you what's the worst part. There are 3 roles, or shall I say 3 positions for many champions. There's the champions that deals little damage early on. There's the champions that do insane damage early on, and then there's those that are balanced. The second one is the one you really have to dread. I mean, look at this gameplay here. I'm Kassadin trying to defend my tower from Bran, and I literally can't do anything because Bran has so much power, has so much range in the beginning, and I don't have any range. I have to walk up and hit him in order for my attacks to go off. But since he can just kite me, and kite means back up while attacking from range, then he can just obliterate me. And once again, I can't do anything. I am stuck in my lane for 15 minutes, having to wait until the surrender button shows up, and worst of all, I still can't quit, because if I do, then I will be penalized. It is so bad. The balance in this game is god-awful. Every champion, well, they may not be able to have it now, but as the game progresses, every champion is capable of killing you in about a millisecond. Or, if they're not able to kill you in a millisecond, then it's probably because they're playing somebody like Alawi or Warwick, who can just heal incredibly fast. Did you see how much health they regen through that? Lifesteal? That looks like immortality to me. This should never be a thing in any video game. Here, let me give you an example of what balanced looks like. Vel'Koz is one of many champions that have to rely on landing its abilities in order to dish out the most damage he can. It doesn't matter if I land my QWE, if I don't get 3 stacks on the enemy, I don't do nearly enough damage. So this encourages people to take risks, to come up with a plan in order to dish out the most damage they can. And to add the topping to the cake, he has mana. So if you run out of mana, you can't use your abilities. So you really have to think it through. So, is there any good reason why champions like Briar, Mordekaiser, and Aatrox don't have mana? What's holding Mordekaiser back? Well, he's able to deal a lot of damage with his Q, his W is able to give him a shield, and when he presses W again, he converts his shield back into health, and on top of that, his E is a pole so that it can grab people, and over time, it does more magic penetration. So, what is really holding him back? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. He's capable of staying in lane for as long as he can, farming minions until he feels like going back, because he just keeps using his W to keep healing himself over and over again. Warwick is probably the worst champion they have ever introduced into League of Legends, and the second that he drops down to low health, he gains up to 75% lifesteal, so if you're ever thinking you can win a 1v1 with him, you can't, because he will out-heal you all the way to the top. You could buy items like Executioner Blade to cut down on his healing, but what good is that gonna do when Warwick just builds Ravenous Hydra and Spirit Visage, which doubles his healing by a substantial amount? Okay? There's no reasoning to build that. Again, there needs to be balance, because if every other champion didn't have any weakness, then what's the point of playing the champions that do have weaknesses? I'm so glad I told my friends not to play this game. I'm so glad I told them to uninstall it so they don't become me. I have a headache of talking about how bad this video game is. This game just makes you drop any social responsibilities you have because you have to focus all of your time into your one game. You're just with these people that you don't even know them, so you have no reason to care for them. You are there playing League, you've probably been playing it for 20 minutes, so you got 20 minutes into your match. Your parents then come home with the groceries and expects you to take them out the car, put them in the kitchen, and start putting them away. But if you do all that, then you will be flagged for AFK, and when you're flagged for AFK, you do not receive any rewards for playing the game you were in. Would you rather continue playing your League game, making sure that you pick up those rewards and piss off mommy and daddy? Or do you go help them out, put away the groceries, and just accept that I got a penalty for being AFK? The correct answer is, you go and put away food. You need food in order to survive. League of Legends is not necessary for your survival. Get off your butt and go put away the groceries. I can't believe I have to play a casual game like it's a ranked game. I've never seen this in any video game I've ever played. And it's because of this reason why the League community is so awful. I've run into many trash talkers on Call of Duty, Apex Legends, and stuff like that, but I'd never seen it so frequently on League. You see, rank was never there to be a casual mode. It was there for people that wanted to test their skills out on others that were their skill level. So when you incorporate rank into every casual game on here, you're just turning every players into complete morons, or shall I say, apes.
Don't do it, don't do it. Ah! Don't do it! Don't do it! Don't do it! Don't do it! No! I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna fucking do it, I'm gonna ah! Ah! I'm gonna fucking do it! Don't take it! No! Fight back! Fight back!
Now, I'm not saying what happens to Tyler 1 and Kensha, I'm not saying what's happening to them will 100% happen to you. But what I am saying is this game has a pattern, because I seem to be finding that in a lot of people in this game only. I think I spent more time flaming my teams for being absolute morons than playing the game. I gotta finish up this video. League of Legends is a prime example of never meet your childhood heroes, at least for me. The gameplay loop is not fun. It's addictive. It's like smoking a cigarette. The second you fall into its spell, you will never come back out. And the main reason why you'll never come back out is because there's 2 people holding you hostage in the game. Even have the majority vote, you will still be stuck in the game. Wow. The League community, if I could give anything to them, it would be an electric chair, only to fix their brains. And Riot, I am so disappointed I've ever praised you guys in my childhood. I completely regret it. That word I said earlier, control, it had a meaning to this. This game literally gives you no control over the situation or how you want to play. That is something that many games seem to accomplish, but League. If they manage to fix everything I just mentioned in the video, and I mean everything, I can see this game getting a lot better. But whatever, I need to finish up this video because I gave myself a headache through this. So thank you for coming to my channel, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.